Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It is game on for Tesla stock next week. Here in this video, I will explain why I'm even more confident now in a larger rally that is coming for Tesla. We had a lot of option activity and a lot of volume concentrated around the $500 calls expiring by this upcoming Friday. And Trump's recent launch of his meme coin, well, really just further solidifies the bull market that we are in and we are heading into. I think a lot of people underestimated how bullish Trump would be for markets, and I think people are going to have to reevaluate that starting Tuesday morning. Now, markets are not open on Monday, and I think possibly the best way to trade a rally in our markets or be in our markets is Tesla stock. For obvious reasons, I will explain here in this video. So I will go over your events happening this week, my expectations, we'll look at earnings, we'll look at any economic data that we have, and much more. So hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Now, first and foremost, I want to start with the Trump meme coin that was launched almost 24 hours ago now. And I think this really just highlights the risk on market that we are likely heading into. The president, or soon to be president, has launched a meme coin. Shout out the bears, dude. It must be rough if you are a bear right now, because this meme coin just, went to a $30 billion market cap. That's a sign of what I think we can expect in our markets, the risk on attitude that is alive right now. And I think a lot of people are way too negative heading into this Trump inauguration. I think a lot of people let the fear get the best of them. And I think a lot of people are going to have to say, hey, wait, maybe this is not the big negative event that we thought it would be. Okay, I think, again, Trump just creating a meme coin a couple days before inauguration kind of sends a message to markets at the bare minimum that I am friendly to markets. I am not going to create destructive policies. Now, ultimately, I think we're going to get a buy the news event on Trump's inauguration. I think futures Monday night are going to be well in the green. I think coming Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of this upcoming week is going to be exceptionally bullish as people get back positioned into markets, because I think a lot of people have depositioned away from markets, have gotten out of markets, and I think the opportunity is too large to not be in markets, especially considering, again, how bearish Wall Street is. If you look at the AI Investor Sentiment Survey, only 25% of investors expect stocks to be higher 6 months from now. 60% of stocks are currently in an active decline below their 50-day moving average. And CNN Fear and Greed Index has markets at fear at 38 today. If you take a look at the VIX, it was in the 20s recently, still at about 16. That's pretty damn fearful. That's pretty bearish, considering Trump is going to be friendly to markets, and I think create a new risk on appetite in and of itself for markets. Now, the big thing you want to watch for with the inauguration and then shortly thereafter is what are these 100 expected first day executive orders going to look like? Two things in particular: tariffs and immigration. Immigration, because it can, affect inflation expectations. It can affect economic expectations. If there's an executive order to start mass deporting people, I think that's a headwind to markets. If there's an executive order on tariffs, that is a big headwind on markets. Now, with that said, I do think Tesla is best positioned out of any other stock because of Elon and Trump's relationship to benefit from this. So if you're not playing this in the crypto markets, which I know a lot of you guys are not, some of you are obviously, but a lot of you guys are not, Tesla, I think, is the best place to be in equities. Now, I think that's for a couple different reasons. Obviously, Trump-Elon's relationship, that's a positive. Trump launching a meme coin shows he's risk on for markets. I don't think Trump is going to come in and start wrecking things, right? Start with the wrecking ball and start demolishing our markets like some people had expected. Okay, I think this is very much a risk on sign, or a sign that, hey, Trump's not going to be this big negative for Wall Street as they were expecting. So beyond that, Tesla is in a very good position, considering we've had a 24% drawdown from high to low. Very large, pullback here. So you've kind of reset expectations in Tesla in a way. And we don't have Tesla earnings this week. So as far as earnings are concerned, we have some earnings this week, like Netflix, Tuesday and after hours. You have 3M, Tuesday pre-market. You have Capital One, Tuesday and after hours. P&G, Abbott, Johnson & Johnson, Ally, Comerica, and others, Wednesday pre-market. Wednesday and after hours, Kinder Morgan, Alcoa, Discover. Thursday, GE Aerospace, American Airlines, Huntington. Thursday, after hours, Texas Instruments, Intuitive Surgical, CSX. And Friday, you have Verizon, American Express, Next Era Energy, and some others. So we don't have Tesla. And I think given the reset that we have seen in Tesla recently, you could actually see some excitement grow in Tesla stock. Okay, there's only a couple things that really matter when it comes to Tesla earnings. What's the schedule for the lower priced Tesla? Is that still on the same schedule as we previously expected to launch in the first half of 2025? And is the robotaxi still expected to launch in 2025? If both of those things are confirmed, which I do think they will, that's going to spark a larger rally. But even between now and Tesla earnings, I think people can get a lot more excited about Tesla stock. I think there is room for, things to get bullish again, because markets are just not in a very bullish place as is. Now, as I showed in the last video, you had a positive order value of 73% on Friday. You had $252 million worth of option activity on Friday as well. So a fair bit of option activity. Not the most bullish we've seen. Definitely not the worst either. But if we take a look at this upcoming Friday's expiration, which is January 24th, 2025, you had a lot of activity on Friday. 56,000 for volume at the 430 call, 18,000 for volume at the 430 250, 47,000 for volume at the 435, 67,000 for volume at the 440, 21,000 here, 15,000 here, 6,000 here. Look at that at the 450. You had 104,000 contracts that were bought and sold at the 450 call. 38,000 that were bought and sold at the 460 call. Keep in mind, these options are anywhere from $400 to $600 a piece. They are not, cheap, right, on a relative basis. 18,000, almost 19,000 for volume at the 480. And even at the $500 call expiring by this upcoming Friday is $93 per contract, traded 46,000 for volume. I think we could easily see Tesla's stock start to ramp into a gamma squeeze this upcoming week. Okay, if there's no tariff executive order on day one, that's bullish. If there's no dramatically negative immigration executive order, like we're not rounding people up and deporting them per se, that is also very bullish, because that has kind of grown to be the expectation, potentially on day one. Now, on Friday, you had volume of 65% calls and 35% puts. So people were definitely weighted towards the call side for this upcoming week. And when I say people, I'm really referring to hedge funds and institutions. With that said, the inauguration is the big catalyst of this upcoming week. I will share with you the economic data that we will get. On Monday, you don't get anything. Markets are closed. On Tuesday, you really don't get anything as well. Inflation numbers out of Canada, but who cares about that? On Wednesday, you don't have anything. Now you have the Red Book and CB leading index month over month. On Thursday, you have initial jobless claims expected to actually fall to 215,000. Continuing jobless claims expected at about 1.86 million. That's really the only catalyst. 10-year tips auction. And that's it for Thursday. On Friday, you have existing home sales and final Michigan consumer sentiment data and final global composite PMI, manufacturing and services PMIs. So you really don't have anything as far as economic data this upcoming week. We're coming off of a weaker than expected PPI, CPI, stronger than expected jobs report. I mean, that's pretty Goldilocks to me. And I think the reason markets did not rally more in the last, week or so of trading is the nervousness around the inauguration. And I think the writing is on the wall for this to be a buy the news event. We've sold the rumors, and I think we will buy the news, in other words. Now, Tesla stock as well did close above that 20-day moving average. That's very positive. You can also see the S&P itself gapped up above this trend line where we have 8 touches. It was a very respected trend line. We gapped up above that, and that's about the best sign you could possibly get that we're going to be going higher in the next, few trading days. Okay, so from the S&P perspective, from Tesla's technical perspective, that looks really good. Question is, is there headwinds for Tesla between now and then? I don't think so. Especially if Elon Musk is not going to buy TikTok, then that rumor goes away, and that is even more uncertainty being lifted off of Tesla stock. And in that scenario, I would expect, Tesla to go even higher. So, it's going to sound crazy, but I think $500 per share by the end of this week is what we're setting up for, especially if that gamma squeeze does continue to ramp. And honestly, that's only a 17% move. I say only, that's a large move, but it's not abnormal for Tesla to move that much, with positive events, in which I believe the Trump inauguration is going to be a positive event for our markets and an even more positive event for Tesla stock, right? A lot of people have long forgotten about the deregulation and lower, taxes and all of the other positives that will come along with the Trump presidency. And now I think with this meme coin Trump just launched, he's really solidifying, hey, I'm going to be good for markets. I'm not going to be a negative force for markets. And I think that's powerful in and of itself. So let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Again, if we rally a lot heading into Tesla earnings, then you could eventually fall after Tesla earnings, even on, good news. So we'll have to see what happens between now and Tesla earnings. But between now and Tesla earnings, I don't really see the bear case for Tesla whatsoever, as long as there's not some kind of crazy executive orders, taking place on day one. Then that would be a bit of an issue. Also want to point out that Tesla has still a very large short position. We had almost 900,000 shares that were actually covered on Friday. And that's a good start, but especially if the markets do grow more bullish from this point, you could see short sellers start to cover, and that would provide another boost for Tesla stock. And I think this could soon become a trader's market again, especially if we continue to see 10-year treasury yields fall, as I think we will see. Either way, I think treasury yields really just got way too far ahead of themselves, expecting inflation and expecting negative tariff policies. And I think we're due for a pretty large plummet there. And that could create, again, another dynamic for a pretty bullish market and a good rally for Tesla. Short interest of free float for Tesla sits at 2.4%. You have $27.74 billion sold short currently in Tesla, totaling 67 million shares that are sold short. So, I mean, 900,000 shares or so recovered on Friday. Look at what that did for Tesla stock. Tesla closed up 3% in regular trading, up another 0.5% in after hours. Just imagine if you start to see even a fraction of those 67 million shares actually covering on short positions. That would be pretty remarkable. Now, we actually did get a good sign from the markets over the past couple of days. Jason Gopfert on X says, a week for the history books. The S&P 500 just strung together 5 straight days with more than 68% of its stocks advancing. That ties the record going back to 1928. So if Tuesday's a good day, we're going to have some of the best breath we have seen in about 100 years. Okay. That's impressive, right? And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we could extend that, well past even Tuesday into the later part of this upcoming week. So, obviously, again, Wall Street's still very bearish. They're still very negative. I think that's going to change coming on Tuesday. I think we are going to head into a more risk-on market. I think Treasury yields are most likely going to come down as the day one executive orders are not as screamingly bearish as some people have expected they will be. I mean, Trump just launched a meme coin. For heaven's sakes. I mean, I don't know what else you need beyond that to tell you, hey, we're probably heading into a more bullish market, not a more bearish market. We've already been so bearish for so long. I'm not too concerned that we're heading into a larger crash. Obviously, infamous last words, but we've started to see some recovery that looks good at this point. And from the option activity that we've seen on Friday, especially if this market is as bullish next week as I think it will be, Tesla could easily be a 500 or higher stock by the end of this upcoming week, by the end of this upcoming Friday. And I think there's an opportunity there if you take advantage of it. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. Do what you guys want to do. You can always lose money, obviously, in the markets. Contact a financial advisor if you need to speak to one. If you're confused about any of this or you're playing with large sums of money you cannot afford to lose, definitely call yourself up a financial advisor. But I think we're entering into a golden age for markets. And I've kind of said that for a while now, but I think that's even more clear following Trump's meme coin launch. So let me know what you guys think about this down below in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.